Alright guys, so we're back again today. We didn't have a video last week. I was deloading and I got sick at the same time, so we took a week off, but we're back today for another pull day, although today's session is going to be a little bit different than the last one you saw. Today I'm joined with Austin and Mr. Matt, both amateur athletes as well, both coaches, and two of the faces behind Elevate Culture Club. So these guys are doing some cool stuff in the industry, so it's always nice to connect and finally get a session in, because we've been meaning to do this for, I don't know, coming up on 2 years now. So it should be interesting. So we'll get into it and we'll take you through everything as we go. As much movement here as we can at your shoulder blades, right? That's the most. So let it pull you, let it pull you, let it pull you. Good. Now close this guy. Better. Now. So lean forward and stay forward. Let it pull you, okay? And now you're just pulling your shoulder blades down. Arms stay straight. So straight arms, pull your shoulders down. There, good. Yeah, you don't get much movement, but that's the movement we're looking for. Better, good. Good. Arms stay straight. Even if it's there, you're already moving more than you did your first rep. Hold back, slow up. Let it pull you, let it pull you, let it pull you. Good. Create that distance. Good. Yeah. Before you barely move, you're literally doing this, and right there you're getting so much movement.
Yeah, I can feel it now.
We're starting with lat work, which isn't going to incorporate the movement that we've been drilling here, but when we get to our upper back stuff we will. So I might have you run through this just once quick, wherever we are on the gym floor, right before doing the upper back stuff. You get more versus sitting. So sitting on one side, you're not actually based into anything fully, you're half off the seat. Whereas the way he's set up, he has multiple points of contact, has his spot under the pad, the side of his leg up against the pad, the side of the seat, his leg driving into the floor, and then he can reach over a little bit more effectively to actually grab on and have an anchor through his upper body as well. Okay. So really it's just a little bit more stable. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was guessing.
Just now, is that like a super warm up?
I just did 2 feeders.
Okay, that's like a super. Yeah, okay.
We call it a super warm up.
Okay.
A superset of feeders.
I just kind of like noticed that. Okay.
It's an ascending superset of feeders.
Or you're working on 5, 6.
Opposite to everything we're working on there. As soon as we let our scraps upwardly rotate, so move up here, we're taking a little bit of tension off of our lat. Our lat doesn't want to move up there. So here you're getting lat, this is less lat, that's less lat, and then you're back on lat.
Am I going too far up?
Yes, but based on your shoulder. So what you want to do is here, right? This is where you're finishing. I want you to finish here. It might not allow you to go all the way into a straight arm, which is fine, because what you need to be focusing on consistently throughout your set is maintaining as much distance between your ear and your shoulder as you can. Okay, so my shoulder will stay down here. I'll move through, but I'm only going to go as high as I can. That's probably going to be my active range, whereas I could go here, right, but I just took a bunch off my lat. So we're keeping that shoulder down and we're working here, right? The shoulder will inherently rise a bit, but you don't want to be reaching because you're taking a little bit off the lat. So keep as much, the easiest way to say is just keep as much distance between your shoulder and your ear as you can throughout your whole set. Does that make sense? Your set. Your set. Yes. Come on. Hard. Yes. Your negative. Finish. Finish. Drive. Drive. Yours. Good.
Yeah, man. Go.
Good. Come on. Stay in. Stay in. Keep that fucking shoulder down. Let's go. Good. Hard. You got another one. You got another one. You got another one. You got another one. Hard. Finish. You're negative.
Come on, man.
Yes. Good.
Fuck yeah.
Again. Yes. Out of the bottom, and I fuck up with this too sometimes. You finish your set, take the negative, drop it. As soon as you're here and you're standing up, like you're here, and then you kind of come up like this, you can strain your bicep doing that.
Okay.
Maybe less so him, because they're used to doing a lot. This guy though, maybe. So keep that in mind. Okay, so setting up single arm cable rows to bias the lat as effectively as we can. So if we look at a single pulley row like I have here, if I were to set up the way that this is traditionally meant to be set up, you'll notice a couple things. The main of which is that that cable is pulling me in towards midline, which creates two situations. One, I'm now fighting against a rotational force, which I don't want to be fighting against. And two, being that that cable is running in towards midline, it's going to encourage me to drive my elbow out at an angle relevant to my torso that's a little wider than what we would ideally want to see. So, keeping in mind that the lat really wants to move our shoulders into extension with our elbow in close to our side, what we want to do is organize ourselves in a way where I can pull whatever implement I'm working with, in this case a cable, in as straight of a line as possible. I have an extra bench here that I've set up next to the actual bench of this cable stack so that I can offset my body so that then that cable is being fed out of that pulley in a perfectly straight line. So now I can drive my elbow back, which is going to lead the row in a straight line with my elbow and close to my body, therefore maintaining more tension through my lat. There you go. I'll go first. Good, there. Come on, come on. All the way through. There. Come on, again. Yes. One more. Take the negative. Come on. Yours. Own the negative. Own the negative. 4, 3, 2. Good. Good. Drive that elbow down. Rub, 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 rub. Good. They're moving fast. Beautiful. Keep going. Yes. Again, drive that elbow down. There. Good. Again. Last one. Hard. Hold, hold, hold. Negative.
Rush. Yeah.
That was a better set.
Much better set. Much better set. We want as much movement at the scap as possible, especially with something like this. Hammer strength pieces are inherently...
Is it exactly like what we did over there?
Yeah, with your scap, but I'm saying hammer strength pieces as a whole, rows, presses, they overload heavily into the shorten, meaning they're hardest in the shorten, which is kind of shit, to be honest. But it gives us opportunity to really spend some time in the stretch position and not shorten our sets, because it's gonna come off. It's gonna be lighter in the lengthening, right? Good. Good fucker. Easy. Trust yourself. Drive. Yes. Again. Yeah. You go more, you go more, you go more. Come on. Yes. More. Good. Again. One more.
Come on, man.
Drive. Yes. Good.
Let's go.
Yes. There it is. Good.
Ooh.
Come on.
3 more.
Drive.
Come on.
Yes. Good.
One more, one more. Let's go.
So here, if I were to breathe into my upper back, see that? See the movement? I'm doing that as I move through the eccentric. So I'm not just letting it pull me forward. As I'm doing that, because that now creates a little bit more space between my scaps, so I get more of a stretch. So I'm here.
Come on, Calvin. Let's go.
Yeah.
Good, there you go. Yes. There it is. Yep. Good, man. Stay in it, man. There's more reps taken. Yes. There's more, there's more, there's more taken. Last chance of growing for the day. Take it. Good. Yes.
Yeah.
Come on. Your side. Yes. 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 More. 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 Yes, more. Again. Come on. 3 more.
Ooh.
3 more.
Let's go, Austin.
Hard. Yes. 2 more. Come on. Stay in it. Come on. Come on. Yes. Oh. Last one. Last one. Hard. Yes. All the way through. Yours.
Oh, fuck. I feel like I need to be a bit more, just a bit more far out.
You can click it.
Yeah. It's weird. Do I have long arms?
Yes. Because you're having the same thing on the lateral. Okay, so rear delt pull downs. If you watch the last pull day video, we worked through an upper back pull down where the setup is very similar, but the difference between biasing the upper back in a pull down versus the rear delt in a pull down is going to be determined by what's happening at our scaps. So if you think back to the last video, we were driving as much movement at the scaps as possible, whereas now we're trying to bias the rear delt. So what we want to do is keep the scaps in as fixed of a position as possible. So we're going to set up, we're going to lean back slightly, and we're going to retract our scaps and try and lock that in place, and then work through the pull down from there. It's specifically not letting those roll forward as we move up overhead.
Get in that position.
You gotta lock it. You gotta lock the straps in. Nice. Come on.
I think for me it's a mobility issue. It's just being in that position is very awkward.
You can get there, you're just not used to it.
Yeah. I've always had that like pronated.
Yeah. Which is why I'm always chest up, proud chest, proud chest. your back. Draw it back as you're working overhead. Good. Again. Good. Again. Better. Pull it back. Pull it back. Proud chest. Good. There you go. Well, we're done with that one. Smaller isolation work, I do like to do a bit of a faster pace, right? It doesn't have to be crazy because there's 3 of us, but we'll just go like 1, 1, 1. Okay, so as Austin was working through his laterals, you'll notice 2 things. One, he's not driving the dumbbells straight up to his sides. They are slightly in front of him. That's because he's working in what we call the scapular plane, which in Homer Simpson terms just means it's a little bit easier on his shoulder joint. The other thing you'll notice is as he's working through them, his shoulders aren't really shrugging up at all. They're staying pretty low where we want them to be, and that's because he's focusing on driving those those dumbbells out, and he's not focusing so much on lifting them up. So as you focus on driving them out, it's going to do a better job of keeping your shoulders in the position that we ideally want them to be.
Body part?
Small muscle groups, side delt, rear delt, bicep, tricep, calves. They recover in about a day or 2, so they recover extremely fast, but they also can't handle all that much volume at once, right? So to fit extra volume or an adequate amount of volume in, you have to hit them at higher frequency, right? You can't have a session with more than like 4 or 5 hard sets on any one of these muscle groups. So to put them all on a day or 2 days over a week, when they recover as fast as they do, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense because you're wasting days where they're ready to go, but you're not challenging them, right?
Small muscle groups out than having them all in one day.
Yes. Okay. So that I can have them. What's that?
You're only shoulder pressing once a week?
Technically twice, because I have push days. One biases chest, but that just means my first movement is going to be a chest press. Second movement's going to be shoulder, so that day it's a Smith. On my shoulder bias push day, I start with a dumbbell press, so there'll be 2 presses through the week, right? And the rest is just accessory work. So, but what we were saying at the beginning of session 2, my shoulders are a little bit further ahead than my arms, so I don't need all that much, but side delts, you can't really do too much necessarily. Yeah, right? So we keep it in. Dumbbell laterals, you just saw us do. We're now moving to a machine lateral. A couple reasons for that. One, being on fixed handles, this is slightly more externally supported, whereas we're limited there by holding position in free space. Now we are more aligned on the machine, so we can get a little bit more output that we missed over there. But 2, with dumbbells, it's heavily overloaded into the short position. With a machine fed by cables, that tension is going to be a little bit more constant. So we're challenging the lateral or the side delt through more of the movement on the machine. Yeah, come on, stay in. Good. Driving out as far as you can, still pace doesn't change. There. Let's go. Good. Go till you can't. Go till you can't. Go till you cannot. Keep going. Let's go. Good.
Oh, fuck, man. Amazing.
Good. Does he ask me to go like Good. Come on, fight it, fight it, fight it, fight it. Yes. Go. Good. Yo, it's not bad, yeah?
It's good.
It's actually. See how you go.
it's been a pretty long session so far, and we were fortunate enough that Matt has been very patient with us, but we finally arrived at the movement that he came for.
This is the only exercise I was looking forward to.
So, single arm machine preachers, here we go. Good set.
It's hard to perform it like Alvin does. It's hard. Nice. Yeah. It's beautiful. Come on.
Got it.
Sir. All right, guys, so that's the session. That's a wrap. Didn't disappoint. Again, we've been meaning to do this for probably 2 years, so I'm happy with the way it went. Particularly with Matt, we saw a huge improvement with the way he moved from the beginning of the session with the prep work to the end. Austin obviously brought it to the house, so no disappointments there either. But I'm going to hand it over to these guys. What do you guys think of the session?
Yeah, it was definitely an enlightening session, just learning how to move a lot better. And I love the exercises. Like the amount of volume that we're doing totally killed our backs.
Yeah, honestly, man, I was really surprised. It's a good awakening from how we're training. Definitely having a second set of eyes, especially from Calvin, really brought us into a new perspective. A lot of things today, like, for example, Matt, just learning how to move his scapula a lot more better. For me, going, like, loading certain stuff that I didn't know that you could even load and progressively go up to. It's just like, it's a good refresher. It's like, I knew it the whole time, but at the same time, it's like, why didn't I not apply it? Right? It's like knowing it and not applying it. It's like, what is that? Right? So definitely like a really good session. It wasn't as
a different style of training.
It wasn't as hardcore. Not in a way. It's not. I'm not gonna say it's water. I'm not gonna water it down, but it was really right on the muscle. Every single movement was spot on. What muscle we were supposed to hit, and we hit it, and we hit it hard. Yeah. Right. And it was amazing. I don't feel beat up. If anything, I feel like bigger and harder. That makes sense.
100%. I think it's totally different from our style of training, because when we do a lot of the similar exercises, but we don't really focus on progressively overloading, like you said, on like cables. You know what I mean? So that's something that's enlightening. I think that we can definitely implement that into our training.
Yeah, and I think, really that's what this is all about. We're all coming up as athletes, we're all coming up as coaches. So at the end of the day, it's about collaborating. I was lucky enough to have these guys come in today and let me introduce them to kind of the way that I train and my side of this world that we love, that is bodybuilding. And I'm happy to hear that they had some takeaways from it. So yeah, that's really what this is about at the end of the day. But for now, we will see you next time. That's a wrap.